crunching. What did that crunching go towards?
I don't. Bro,
Well,
I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Bro, that reminds me that because of this game. Oh wait, who
Oh,
the
look
hell?
who's here.
Wait a second. A new opponent has interrupted the tournament.
Holy shit.
Why did you do such a pogger's face when I came in here?
Guys, the
Hold on, 1 second. Wait,
the last
She's in. Wait. She's in the podcast.
Bro, this is the final podcast of the year, and we're getting the original Warriors back. We're 2 for 2 from the original Warriors.
Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring, snowing and blowing up bushels of fun.
This for all marbles, guys. Let's talk about Cyberpunk 2077.
I have a lot of questions that revolve around
Cyberpunk. So for those y'all,
Cyberpunk was meant for PC, but then they converted it for console.
okay, let me hold up. So when Cyberpunk, so guys, for those y'all who want to know, we're talking about Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 came out earlier this, actually, at the end of last week. Funny enough, during the Game Awards. And although a lot of people enjoy it, a lot of people hate it. For one big reason. The PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of the game are unplayable. I'm not talking about the game is not complete or anything like that. No, the game is complete. It's impossible to play. By that, I mean the graphics to the game are terrible. It's to the point where people's PlayStations are actually crashing. So, and this is coming from, and funny enough, CD Projekt Red knew this shit. They knew. You want to know why? Because when they showed the game off, they showed the PC version and the PS5 version. They never talked about the PS4 version or the Xbox One versions. So, which makes me once again say, because we said it before, I honestly do think that Cyberpunk 2077 on the next delay should have been said, yo, we cannot get this game to run on PS4 and Xbox One. It's only if you only play on PS5 and Xbox. That's it. And number one. Number two, CD Projekt Red had put an embargo on people from reviewing the game ahead of time. You couldn't review the game, especially if you got your digital. Especially if you got your review copy of the game, you couldn't review it for about a week or so. Number two. Number three. Once again, these guys delayed the game multiple times throughout this year, knowing full well, and they even say we're having trouble trying to get the console version to work. CD Projekt Red wrote this thing. First of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence, not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase. We should have paid more attention to making it play better on PS4 and Xbox One. I have a lot to say about that. I'm gonna keep reading. Second, we will fix bugs and crashes and improve the overall experience. The first round of updates has just been released, and the next one is coming within the next 7 days. Expect more, as we will update frequently whenever new improvements are ready. After the holidays, we'll continue working. We'll release 2 large patches starting with patch 1 in January. This will be followed by patch 2 in February. Together, these should fix the most prominent problems gamers are facing on the last-gen consoles. We'll be informing you about the content of each patch ahead of their release. They won't make the game on last-gen look like it's running on high-spec PCs or next-gen consoles, but it'll be closer to that experience than it is now. Finally, we would always like everyone who buys our games to be satisfied with their purchase. We would appreciate it if you would give us a chance. But if you are not pleased with the game on your console and don't want to wait for updates, you can opt to refund your copy. For copies purchased digitally, please use the refund system on PlayStation and Xbox respectively. For boxed versions, please first try to get a refund to the store where you bought the game. Should this not be possible, please contact a helper please contact us at helperrefund at cdprojectred.com, and we will do our best to help you. Starting from today, you contact us for the week up until the 21st of December. So you have until actually Monday to get a refund if you were unsatisfied with your purchase of Cyberpunk 2077. Should I go first? Or should I let you guys go first?
So you're telling me.
Go ahead, Exile.
So you're telling me a game that was meant for the PlayStation 5 and PC, which makes it sound like it was just supposed to be for the PC, is broken when it's on the console. Project Red was like, hey, we're gonna delay the game. But then the gaming community said, give us our time.
No, that's not the problem. No. Go ahead.
That's not the problem.
No, that's not the problem. Let me explain something.
Okay.
Listen, as someone, now granted, I have not bought Cyberpunk 2077 yet. I'm waiting because I don't want to get it on PS4. I want to get it on PC, or I'm saving my money to buy a PS5 sometime in the summer, because there is no reason for anyone to buy a PS5 right now. I'm just saying, even though they're restocked and everything like that, there really is no reason for to buy a PS5. But I do plan on buying Cyberpunk 2077. Okay? That's not the problem, though, Exile. You gotta keep this in mind. Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed countless times. The game was originally set to release in April, a week after Final Fantasy VII Remake came out. They delayed it up until September, because they also said they had to fix the bugs, and there were certain game-breaking bugs that they had to fix.
Okay,
Oh, no, nigga, no, I'm not done. I'm not done, bitch.
Okay, but
Nope.
so far,
No, stop. They delayed it again in September, all the way to November, because they said the exact same thing, that they want to make sure the game is perfect and everything like that. That's fine. Then they delayed it again for another 20 days. That's fine. I have no problem with that. This is the problem I have. You knew that the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game were unplayable from the start. Those bugs were from those specifically. And what I'm saying, and what I am pretty sure a vast majority of people did say, there is no way that you can run this game on the PS4 and the Xbox One. We should have put the game on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, which people would have been mad, but they would have saved up their money to buy a PS5 and a Xbox. CD Projekt knew full effing well that this game was not going to be able to be played on a PS4 and an Xbox One. And on top of that, this game's been in development since 2012. It has been in development for 8 years, dude. And you mean to tell me that in those 8 years, you weren't able to fix the game for the last generation? I'm not talking about the PlayStation 3 or 360. I'm talking about the current gen, because originally this game was supposed to be on PS4 and Xbox One, but obviously because graphics and the gaming engines got better and better, they put it on PS5 and Xbox Series X, which is completely fine. Have no problem with that. You knew full freaking well that your game was not able to be played on last gen consoles. So this whole thing about we should have paid more attention to making it play better. No, you fed niggas on the lie on what they were getting.
So the issue was they released it on the previous gen, even though it wasn't gonna work, instead of just releasing it on the next gen.
Yeah, if you knew.
So it sounds like they didn't want to back out. Like there's like, okay, well,
no. Yeah, okay, fine. And if they didn't want to back out, they should have fixed the freaking game.
And they didn't want to downgrade their graphics just for the previous generation.
Again, you should have fixed the game. They didn't.
They should have just said, you know what, we're not gonna release it on the PS4.
That's what they should have said. I'm more upset on the fact that CD Projekt Red, knowing full well that this game was unplayable on the PS4 and the Xbox One, I'm more upset about them not canning those, axing those, and making it be able to be played on PS5 and Xbox Series X. Now, don't get me wrong. This does not dismiss them over the release of the PS5, Xbox Series X, and the freaking PC versions, because all three of them versions still have issues, but they're not as bad as the PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay.
What are your okay, Exile? Do you have the game?
On PC? No, not yet.
Okay, but what are your thoughts? Because I know you said some potentially controversial things on Discord and Twitter. So I want to know, what are your thoughts? Because you sound like you're defending CD Projekt Red.
So I feel like, so it can sound like, you know what, like you know, we're gonna release this game, and it was supposed to be a PC game, and then they're like, let's try to put it on console, and then it wasn't working, and then the community wanted it to be released, and it's like, well, we can release it on everything, and the PC players will be happy, and the PS5 players will be happy.
But that's not how it went, huh?
So they're like, yeah, fuck the PS4, fuck the poor people that can't buy a PS5. Yeah, they fucked up. They should have just went with the whole exclusive to next gen only. They fucked up.
All right. Kabuto, I don't know how much you care about CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk, but what's your thoughts? Go ahead, bro.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, it does make me sad that project that has Keanu Reeves as its spokesman do so poorly, especially since he's still showing up on ads on TV. Like, that hurts me on the inside. You know, as someone who has been, you know, Keanu's biggest fan since '95, and you know, and like, I know that there is some like pro and con in the situation where it's like on one hand they I heard that they could not delay it further because people were already getting pissed at them for getting delayed like twice at least, because wasn't Cyberpunk like announced like 2 years ago at first?
No, Cyberpunk, yeah, Cyberpunk was announced to be releasing back in 2018. I remember, but they had to delay it and stuff because of the same situation that we're talking about right now.
So on one hand, I can understand that like if they didn't release it now, some fans would get really pissed that they got delayed again. But on the other hand, look at Team Metroid. Like they delayed Prime 4 for like technical reasons. And we've still been waiting for 2 years and still no word of updates. I think Cyberpunk could probably handle another 3 months at least. And then there's the issue of like, so I remember someone said something about funding, like oh, we didn't have enough resources to finish the game on time, but money, like those resources better be like manpower because budget wise, it's like, look, the game got so many pre-orders already that it made massive profit just from the pre-orders already.
This was the most anticipated game of this year. This game was more anticipated than Final Fantasy. More people were looking forward to this game alone this year than Final Fantasy VII Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake, freaking The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima. This game was on everyone's radar. I'm not hype train or not. The hype train to this game was unfreaking real.
Yeah, and what's it called? Yeah, and yeah, this game is the video game equivalent of Force Awakens, where Force Awakens was the most anticipated film in the last 10 years. And like this is what we ended up with, that's just really sad. And some alternate solutions they could have done is, like if it's working better for the PC, just release it temporarily as a PC exclusive and do a later release for other consoles. Other games have done that, and they've still turned a profit, no problem.
Exactly.
Just saying, let some people have their fun. It sucks that some people couldn't, because let's be honest, that everyone could afford a $5,000 gaming PC.
You need to buy a gaming PC, bro.
And it doesn't make sense to me. Like, how do they release it to the market? Like, either knowing this or even not knowing this. Like, don't they have like some kind of like way of testing to see how the game would operate if it's an issue of bandwidth? Like if there's too much traffic from like online players, like don't they have ways of testing, like make some kind of like a million AI accounts just to test to see how well the bandwidth is working with the immense traffic, so that they could so they could quality control it before it's out on the market. And real talk, this is why I miss games where the main gameplay is like local single player, local multiplayer, like GameCube games and PS2 games, because we never had to deal with those kinds of issues because like bandwidth was never a problem. There's only one person in our game, and that's us. But now you have like this like surge of online multiplayer games that are made specifically to be online multiplayer games. So now you have new issues to deal with, that being mostly due to bandwidth traffic, and like you need some way of testing this so that you could quality control it before it gets out on the market. How do you not know this? Did they even did they even alpha and beta test the console versions? That's what I don't understand.
No, more importantly, did they beta test the freaking PS4 and Xbox One versions? That's where I have an issue with. Like, don't get me wrong, like there are other issues about Cyberpunk, but I'm gonna get back to that in a minute.
But no, let's focus more on this real issue, which is, what have you guys been doing with like the crashes and stuff? And then what's the solution? Oh, well, like at least they can refund it, because let's be honest, getting a refund on a video game after being downloaded is not an easy process, so that's good at least. But the thing is, this should not be happening in the first place. Like, the game, upon release, should be acceptably playable on day one.
Allo, thoughts, bro? Go ahead, because I know you bought Cyberpunk.
Well, as a gift for somebody else who's gonna deal with the bullshit, so not me. But so first of all, what the fuck does bandwidth have to do with Cyberpunk 2077? That's what I don't understand.
Wait, who brought bandwidth again?
Kabuto brought a bandwidth. And it's like,
no, I'm saying like, what's causing the crashes? Is it like because? Is this like a multiplayer thing?
No.
There's
no. Okay, there's no multiplayer in this game. Okay, so the PS4. Okay, so you know how the game looks on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X? It does not look like that on the PS4 and the Xbox One. The game is unplayable. Like, it's one thing that the game looks bad on PS4 and Xbox One, but the game, people cannot play it. There are countless reports of the game crashing multiple times.
Yeah, I understand that it keeps crashing. What I don't understand is, why is it crashing?
Because the game's unplayable, dude.
Yo,
but why is it unplayable?
Because CD Projekt Red's a fucking...
Imagine you took your 8-year-old laptop and was like, I'm gonna play Cyberpunk on this, and it was like,
no. Nah, I got one better, bro. I got one better. Imagine taking your computer from like 2003, 2004 with the big effing like screen and stuff like that.
The XP.
EXP, yeah, on that's still on
Windows 98.
That's on Windows 98. And it still has and you still have MSN as your internet host. Imagine playing that now. Cyberpunk 2077 now on that rig.
Anyway, like I was gonna mention the fact that like, what they could have done is, like how we said, just make it PC only for this launch, and then consoles will just come out later. Like I don't even know what the fuck I was going with.
I mean, funny enough, the original Deus Ex, it came out in 1999 on PC. A year later, it ended up on PS2, and although the PS2 version didn't play at almost identically like the PC version, it's still a gem to have because apparently it's still very, very good in its own way. But continue, Allo.
Okay. Now, okay, sometimes like you may see like NPCs pop up as like N64 characters. That's one issue. The other issue could be the actual frame rate. Like, screw the graphics mode. The actual like how responsive the game is due to its frame rate is a big issue because that shit's always like a movie FPS. You ever play a game with movie FPS, my dude? Like, what the?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
What is that? The Order 1886?
I've actually never played the Order 1886, but on my old rig, I was playing the Strider game that Capcom made and stuff like that back in a few years ago. Mm-hmm. And the last boss, it felt like the frames dropped to like 15%.
Jesus. And not only that, like the crashes, like some of the bugs may be fun to see. Like there was like this one dude who got on a motorcycle and just teleported to the sky. That shit was funny. But I was watching the stream. Shout out to the boy Shofu. I was watching his stream, and I was watching it. I was watching the day the game came out. The game crashed, and he just ended the stream right there. But the shit is like, who knows how much progress was lost? Because as far as I know, there's no autosave in the game. So not only that, like because of these crashes, you have to keep going. You have to replay content you already played just to get back to where you were. And who knows, another crash is gonna happen again. Are we also just not gonna talk about the fact like there was an emergency investor meeting because of Cyberpunk, and the game got released on the PlayStation Store.
Oh, we won't talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute.
That shit's so unprecedented. Like, how could, bro? Like the only, like not even Fallout 76 wasn't that bad.
Nigga. I was gonna talk about that in a minute, but yeah. Exile, since you're defending CD Projekt Red, thoughts? Go ahead.
Hold on. What's the?
So you're defending. So we know you're defending CD Projekt Red. So what's your thoughts?
I mean, I like to look at both sides. I mean, but after you guys talk, it's like, yeah, you guys could have done PC only first, and then I think they fell under pressure to release it on PS4, even though it wasn't done.
Do you want to know what's worse? About this entire story? Is the fact that, remember how we reported that CD Projekt Red had officially started putting crunch time on the gaming developers, on the developers of Cyberpunk? Do you remember that? Especially you, Kabuto. Do you remember how we talked about they were now doing crunch time? So where did all that crunch time go to? Because clearly it didn't go to freaking the PS4 the console versions, the last gen console versions. Where the hell did all that crunch time even freaking go?
PC.
You know what's funny? This reminds me of a Doug Walker quote. From when he reviewed 1995 Power Rangers movie. So they go off skydiving, and that's probably where all the budget went. Really, they probably just want an excuse to go skydiving, and they're like, "Oh no, we're gonna make a movie."
Anyways,
but you're right. You know, like if they are crunching, what did that crunching go towards?
I don't, bro. I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Bro, that reminds me that because of this game. Oh wait, who
Oh,
the
look
hell?
who's here.
Is that
Who's that?
Cece?
Holy shit.
Why did you do such a poggers face when I came in here?
Guys,
Hold on, one second. Wait,
the last-
She's in. Wait, she's in the podcast.
Bro, this is the final podcast of the year, and we're getting the original Warriors back. We're 2 for 2 from the original Warriors. Like, and you know what? No, you want to know what's worse? Do you know what's worse about this entire thing? Is that CD Projekt Red became freaking hypocrites. Because CD Projekt Red straight up blatantly said, we are not EA, we're not Bethesda, we're not Activision.
Hey,
Yeah, what they
know
did
what they meant
was
by that?
What?
They didn't put hidden mechanics in their game.
No, however, their game wasn't finished. I mean, like on another console, it was unplayable. It had game-breaking. It had bugs that made people consoles crash. They went back on their word about how they said when the game is complete, we will release it. Clearly, the game was not.
Hey, it was complete. Just not up. It just wasn't meant for.
It's complete for
It's
PC.
complete.
And PS5 and Xbox Series X. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Like, and that's the problem, dude. It's like CD Projekt Red became everything that
They
we loathe.
should have specified that this cannot be played on PS4.
CD Projekt Red became everything that we have loathed and that we have talked about for the last how many years? 2-3 years about what we hate about Activision, what we hate about EA, what we hate about every single one of these guys. They became the worst.
I feel like as a gamer, like something coming out that's this big, and there's a next gen console out, and I have the previous gen, like I know better. Like I personally know better.
Exactly, and it's.
But I guess, you know, for the people that are just like, oh, oh, I have a PS4. It says it's for the PS4.
Holy shit, Zach! Guys, real quick, this is the audible. It took us how many freaking months to get this motherfucker back on? But we finally got her. The first waifu of the Show Game Podcast, people. I give to you, Miss Cece Animates.
Like,
I can't
not
hear you,
even
what?
Pika could bring her back,
Mike's
but
on
here
mute,
she is.
but we understood that.
Cece, welcome back. Granted, you're no longer our favorite waifu. That belongs to Bride of Spider-Man now.
Okay, no. I
Oh,
can
she
do
gonna
that.
stop you now.
The one time Bride of Spider-Man cannot pop up, or Jen's three-fifths compromise ass, you show up.
If you can't have all the girls, you can have one of them at least.
Yo, imagine this is some kind of like cosmic contract where like every podcast, at
Everybody
least
needs girls
one
and one
wife
girl
will
is
be
in
in the
danger.
show.
We would
Oh
just-
my.
no, we would make front screen of Twitter and Twitch. That's why we can't have all girls in here.
Hey,
Too
I'd
many
be fine
girls
with
in
that.
one place.
Oh, real quick. Do you watch The Mandalorian, CC?
One episode.
What's your thoughts on boob armor?
Yo.
Because Anita Sarkeesian went
Okay,
off
Are
about.
we thinking like, you know,
No, I'm not talking about. No, I'm not
or
talking about
just,
like.
in appearance?
I'm not talking about like anime like boob armor.
No, I mean like overall. No, that's Sam.
No, I'm talking about protection type of shit. Like this armor, even though this armor is actually to protect you from getting shot.
I'm gonna get a cup real quick.
Wow, you got the geisha outfit on too. Goddamn. Anyways.
But what she just said about Samus, right? That like, come on, even Samus got the the
Armor.
breast armor.
Okay. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Hold up. CC, we'll talk about boob armor in a minute. What are your thoughts about the whole thing about Cyberpunk? Have you been following everything that's going on with CD Projekt Red?
I have.
Okay, what are your thoughts? Matter of fact, because this is the last podcast of the year, the floor is yours. We don't have a sponsor this week. Go nuts.
Yeah, when I come here, I don't get a sponsored day.
Go nuts. The floor is yours, CC. CD
This won't
Projekt
be
Red
held
fucked
against
up.
me, right? None of this is gonna be used against me.
Real quick.
Court of law.
CC's opinions do not reflect on the Struggle Game podcast or any other sister podcasts that we are linked with. Orphan Network, Illuminati, it don't matter. Her opinions do not reflect everyone's opinions.
I do understand because I've been doing a lot of game designing with Unity, making a lot of game maps, understanding how it works. It's not the same engine they've used, which I can fully understand. There's other engines, but like, I understand if you have like a very big fan base, and it's been multiple years that they've been waiting for the set product. I understand wanting to, you feel rushed, you feel that pressure. It's gonna hurt for a while. I understand that, but if you understand and know there's bugs with your work, you should do beta testing with a certain amount of people, especially with streamers. If you have somebody like fucking Stealth
Fucking
RPG, someone who's known
PewDiePie.
within the PewDiePie, exactly, or PewDiePie, Corpse Husband, Saikuno, all the dumb fuck e-boys or e-girls. Look at you, Valkyrie, and Pokimane. But no, I understand if you feel pressured, but instead of releasing the full product, you should release it for streamers to have early access and beta testing, not only to, get the kinks out of it, no pun intended, but to also I saw that face.
Nigga,
But no,
what the
not only
fuck?
get the if you get all the kinks worked out of your program, then at that point, or at least if there's minimal, like, players are gonna break your game. That's known. Like, there's one big error which, with their code that I've noticed, is that though you can optimize it in the game, you can optimize it in your files if your computer cannot handle it, which that is player's choice, but not only with that, you should allow your players to basically disable interlapping missions, because with one mission, semi-spoilers, there's a car mission you have, but it
I know about that one.
Yeah, you get 2 missions in that one area because you're going to that area to go to get that said mission done. There's another mission that pops up saying, I hope this is in your best interest that you accept, right? And it caused a lot of people's computers to crash, or the game to crash, because now it's trying to upload 2 sets of code because there's 2 missions trying to be sent into your program.
Right.
That's interlapping code and a lot of UI and AI issues, which, as I said, beta testing would have happily helped that. But I also understand from their perspective that they felt rushed, they felt like the fan base is getting angry. And if you have a fan base that hates you, it's not going to really be good if you release your work, even if it's 100% perfect. There's no guarantee that they're going to give you a chance because of how long it took.
I think the one problem that we have though, CC, I think the biggest problem with it though is that many people have even said CD Projekt Red knew ahead of time about this shit. They knew ahead of time about the PS4 and Xbox One versions. Like, yes, there are issues with the PC, the Xbox, and the PS5 versions. We know those 3 have issues, okay? And they made people's consoles brick a couple of times. But we're talking about the PS4 and the Xbox One, which this game was originally coming out on both those consoles originally, and you can't even play them. If the game was finished, but it's unplayable. That's the biggest problem.
Yeah, there's definitely, they could have prevented that, and this is also just depending on their platform and how they use their social entirely. They could have avoided this by saying on their social media that we need to work more, like, this is also just, this is just how industries do it. We regret to inform you, and we apologize solemnly, that we will be releasing our game onto PC consoles instead of other formats and other platforms. Till further notice, we can understand the game and understand it to transfer it to other consoles. Till further notice, this will be a PC game.
See,
that's to mellow your fan base out, and that'll let them know, okay, we understand, and there's that communication. But without that communication, you get a very bad reaction.
You get hit with a switchblade. That's the case. But no, so I'm so tired. Okay, so the last thing about Cyberpunk is the fact that Originally, it was a fucking mess to get this game refunded, especially you got on PlayStation or Xbox. Well, apparently, you people who bought the game digitally on PlayStation Network are getting full refunds, and the game's been removed off their library, as well as on Xbox as well. So you can get full refunds. Here's my one thing, and we can move on after this. If you bought your copy of Cyberpunk at freaking GameStop, good fucking luck. Good luck. Because, yeah, good luck you bought that damn game at freaking GameStop. The point, bottom line, CD Projekt Red, I'm sorry.
You know what GameStop gonna tell you?
1738.
Hey man, I know.
I have a friend who's a manager for GameStop.
I know. He's okay. He's okay.
I know you're gonna get a free refund with. You're gonna get a free refund through Xbox and the PSN store, but
oh my god,
through GameStop you're gonna get about $350 here.
And even Best Buy is doing better than GameStop. That's crazy.
Anyways,
Wow.
I'm
You
so
know GameStop's not gonna give anything.
Yo, I remember I needed to exchange a Nintendo DS back in the day. Oh my god, getting an exchange at Best Buy was a nightmare.
Anyways, shouts. Just do better. God damn it, do better. Do
There
better.
were definitely other ways they could have gone about this.
Do fucking better, man. That's all I have to say is do fucking better.